That's what we're getting to.
Welcome back to Face Off, everybody. John Simmons, Ryan Ravel, and Kevin Kunzman here. And guys, we're going to shift from the NFL. We're going to go to college ball now. It was a pretty big weekend for college football. Kansas State lost, Oregon lost, Notre Dame is still undefeated. We'll touch on them in a little bit. But I want to say, during the Oregon game, there was a lot of rumors floating around, but building up that week that Chip Kelly could potentially be out after this season, going to the NFL, possibly the Eagles, possibly in Philly, maybe. I don't know if that's what Phillies fans want, but is there any way that this became a distraction and that's why Oregon lost the game and aren't going to be playing for the national title?
Honestly, I think it's a bunch of crap. We don't know what was going through the heads of the players in the locker room, but overall, I watched that game all the way through. Stanford, they played equal with Oregon. They stayed with them the whole game. Their quarterback, Kevin Hogan, had a really good game overall. And really, when it all comes down to it, that defense held that high-powered Oregon offense to 14 points total. You look at the stats, it's equal all the way through until overtime. Stanford just got the job done. I don't really put any of the blame on Oregon because of Chip Kelly, NFL rumors. I think Stanford they got the job done. They played better than Oregon did.
Yeah, Stanford played really good ball. They like you said, they kept up with Oregon. Honestly, I played football for 4 years in high school, and you read the paper article, you read the articles in the newspaper and stuff like that, but you can't pay attention to it. And when you're playing for a school like Oregon, you can't. And I don't think that it had any effect on the players. I think they honestly just got outplayed, and that's why they lost that game, and not because of Chip Kelly rumors.
Stanford has a top 10 defense. They took them to overtime. As high-powered of an offense as Oregon is, they're mortal. It's any other team, and you can't expect them to be concentrating on that when they're going for a national championship.
These guys are Division I players, number 2 team in the land. They know not to focus on media. I'm sure Chip Kelly told them.
Not number 2 anymore, but
well, they were. But they know better. That's the reason.
But the new number 1 team are the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame.
All right.
Most likely now, especially with Kansas State going down too, Alabama's going to be back in the national title game. As happy as I was when they lost, and I was going to be able to watch a national title game that didn't have Nick Saban and Alabama playing in it. Now, most likely, they're going to beat Georgia for the SEC championship game, and it's going to be Notre Dame, Bama in the national title championship. Is there any way it can be anyone else? Because I personally don't think so.
I don't imagine anyone beat Notre Dame at this point. I think they've proven themselves. How many wins against ranked opponents? They have about 4 or so.
And they have USC coming up, and Barkley's not going to be playing. Matt Barkley's
I saw that today.
So I mean, that was going to be their only other game that could possibly, they might have got knocked off, but honestly, I don't think that's going to happen now. I think that Notre Dame defense with Matateo, they're too good of a defense to let up a game like that now.
No, I know you guys were talking about SEC teams, Florida, Georgia, possibly jumping up.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you see anyone?
Again, like you said, I don't see Notre Dame losing at all. I think the only team who could possibly jump up there is Georgia. I think Florida's just too far behind at this point.
Yeah.
I think we could see a Bama versus Georgia, which would, for me, an all-SEC national championship yet again would not be entertaining. I'm hoping Notre Dame can hang in there. I think it's going to be Notre Dame and Bama. I don't think there's any switching that now. I think there's no more crazy upsets. I think it's the Irish on the tide.
It's been set
in the national. I think it is.
I would say so. I would love to see the Bulldogs. I would love to see Georgia get into the national. Just like I said, I would love to see someone other than Bama play for the national title.
Aaron Murray at quarterback, in my opinion, the best right now, the best in the nation. I think.
Yeah,
Aaron Murray's been unbelievable.
He's playing great.
Be another boring defensive championship game.
Yeah, exactly.
Field goals and safeties,
and
pretty much.
Don't even get me started on Nick Saban. Vin knows exactly why too. We're gonna move to baseball now.
Okay.
And ever since the MVP results came out, there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding it. Cabrera obviously won it. Should Trout have won the MVP?
No. But I wanted him to, absolutely. I was cheering for Trout that whole time. Honestly, if Cabrera doesn't win one of those categories, I feel Trout actually wins that MVP race. He had a .325 batting average, 30 home runs, almost 50 stolen bases, and led the league in runs scored. Last person to do that, A-Rod, when he was 22. Age regardless, those are incredible stats. It's just a situation of wrong place, wrong time. Actually, A-Rod lost that MVP race too. It was 1998. I believe it was Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, it's just wrong place, wrong time. He is going to win multiple MVPs at the rate that he's moving in his career. Yeah, Trout.
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. No, not A-Rod. Okay. No, he's done. But honestly, if he's an MVP, he gets unanimous vote for it. But really, Miguel Cabrera, first Triple Crown winner, 45 years. How is he not going to win?
If he didn't win that Triple Crown, I think Trout definitely could have been a lot closer.
Would have been a lot more closer.
Yeah, I mean, people are saying, a lot of people are saying that, you know, Cabrera should have won it, but Trout should have got more votes. And I'm saying, like, what does that have to?
The thing was, like, Trout actually had like a control of somewhat of his fate, that he was actually ahead of him in batting average going into it. If he could have held it, then there would have been a different situation.
Yeah, if he could have held it, he wouldn't have won the Triple Crown, and then.
Absolutely.
I mean, as a Jersey guy, I was hoping for the hometown guy to pull it out. Like, I'm a huge Trout fan. I love the whole story of him, but there's no debate here. Miguel Cabrera winning the Triple Crown. I mean, you guys pretty much said it all. Triple Crown winner for the first time in, I think you said 45
years, 1967.
Yeah, 67.
Yastrzemski,
correct?
Yep.
There's no denying it. He absolutely deserved the MVP. He got his team to the playoffs. I mean, granted, it wasn't completely Trout's fault the Angels didn't get there.
That's another thing to consider is that, you know, Cabrera was able to help with that late season push, and Trout, you know, they just kind of floundered off.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun, but you know.
Yeah, but they had a great record at the end of the year, but they're just in a tougher division.
With those names, you know, you got Pujols there, you got Herring.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So I mean, it lends itself to the controversy, but I still think Cabrera should have.
I don't think there's any debate.
No
Triple Crown winner. That's
you
it.
can't
That's
complain about that.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's all you need to know.
Can't complain about that decision.
On to the NBA now. Big acquisition for the 76ers this year was Andrew Bynum.
Big.
Yeah. I rolled my eyes as soon as I heard that. I was never a Bynum fan when he was in LA. I think he's an immature player and so on and so forth. Is he worth all the trouble so far with the 76ers? He hasn't played at all.
The problem is you're looking at the pros and the cons. The pros, he is only 25 years old. He is an offensively capable big man. He has a high IQ. Everyone says that. He's competent of understanding that. You know, he found a way to blend in with Kobe and Gasol. That looks great.
Yeah.
But he would be going into an offense where he would be the primary option behind Drew Holiday. It would just be him, and that's the main focus on him. I feel like he's too immature of a player. If he even got over these injuries, if he even got focused enough to get over a bowling injury, he just would not be able to make a significant impact. And the problem is with the Sixers is that they have a lineup where they are just dying for an offensive big man. They have Lavoy Allen and
Spencer Hawes.
They have Thaddeus Young playing down low. He's only 6'8". You know, they're a very small lineup. They need a guy like Bynum, so they might make that stretch to give him money. They give him a max out. They're just shooting themselves in the foot for years.
I completely agree.
To be a Philly fan right now, I'll tell you. I mean, I'm not a big Howard Eskin guy, if you know him, the media guy in Philly. But he called it out. He said that he believed that Andrew. I can't stand him.
I'm sorry.
I can't stand him. But he believed that Andrew Bynum could be damaged goods, and the Lakers knew that. And I think if Bynum is healthy, he's a huge acquisition. I mean, like you said, Sixers, all they need, that's the kind of guy they need, a big man down low, offensive player. He's the guy, but how do you get hurt bowling? I don't understand what you do. I don't get it.
I just want to say before we step off the break here, the fact that he injured his good knee bowling. He must have been taking.
What did you hit the
he must have
ball?
been with like a 20-pound ball taking a 10-step backswing, but that blows my mind how that happened.
Can I make 2 points before we go to commercial break?
Real
One,
quick.
Sixers, just so you know, Josh Smith is going to be a free agent this upcoming offseason. If you're really looking for a competent big man, that's who you got to go to. And two, guys, I actually injured myself bowling when I was like 16. I missed like 3 starts in baseball. I hurt my ankle jumping like off a stair. I got pumped because I got a strike. And
well, then you feel what Bynum's going through. Yeah, you feel his pain.
I got him.
We're going to step off the break real quick, so we'll see you when we come back on Face Off.